A big announcement from the Hexagon Group today. Hexagon owns Intergraph and Madison, and pretty soon employees will be working out of a brand new headquarters. WHNT News 19's David Kuhnbrock with details.
Crowds gathered for the big announcement about the brand new Intergraph headquarters. Intergraph will soon start construction to house 1,100 of its employees. Leaders believe in the building.
I think it's really important because we're a high-tech company. We're got dedicated, very qualified, skilled people. And I think it's important that they have a working environment to match their skills.
More than hard hats and shovels will go into the construction efforts. It will also take a wad of cash.
This building is roughly a $60 million investment that Hexagon will invest on these premises. And then we will see if there will be further investments into this campus.
Community leaders who attended the ceremony seemed thrilled. Part of the reason might be the prospect of future growth.
Our idea is, of course, to expand. I mean, 10 years ago, Hexagon had 2,000 employees, and now we're 13,000, so we're not going to stop now.
Now the ground is broken, and the process is underway. In Madison, David Kuhnbrock, WHNT News 19.
The new headquarters will encompass most of the current staff at Intergraph, and it should be open in the summer of 2014.
Today we gather again to celebrate economic development and growth in Madison, Huntsville, Madison County, and our state of Alabama. What an exciting day for our community and for Intergraph. There are many in attendance today that have played key roles in bringing this project and an exciting new Intergraph facility to the point of groundbreaking, so congratulations to each of you. Now, we have many special guests in attendance today, and as you might suspect, it's quite a list. So please hold your applause until all have been recognized. From Senator Shelby's office, we have LaFrida Jordan. From Senator Jeff Sessions' office, Lisa Montgomery. From Congressman Brooks' office, Tiffany Noel. Joining City of Madison Mayor Paul Finley are Mayor-elect Troy Truelot, City Council President Ronica Ondoxson, City Council Member Tim Holcomb, Councilman Steve Haraway, Councilman Jerry Jennings, and Council-elect DJ Klein, Councilman Tim Coles, and Council-elect Mike Potter, City Council Member Tommy Overcash, and Council Member Larry Vanoy. From the Madison Community Development and Planning Department, we have Director Amy Bell. From the City of Madison Industrial Development Board, we have Gene Roble, Alfredo Bonilla, Taryn Thorpe, David Cochran, Richard Knox, Bill Scripp, and Bobby Deneef. Joining Madison County Commission Chair Mike Gillespie is Chair-elect Dale Strong. And from the City of Huntsville, we have Economic Development Director Michelle Jordan. From the Alabama Department of Commerce, we have Secretary of Commerce Greg Canfield. Now, I apologize if I have missed anyone, and we appreciate everything that our elected officials do to improve our community. Please help me welcome and say thank you to our elected guests. Thank you. Thank you. Well, today we're standing on the campus of one of this community's most innovative technology providers, a place where vision and innovation have served as the foundation of a global enterprise. Our first speaker today understands how technology, innovation, and visualization not only provide answers to the problems of today, but to also the challenges of tomorrow. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Intergraph CEO and Hexagon President and CEO, Mr. Ulla Rowland. Mr. Rowland.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you, Ron. And I understand we have the Chamber of Commerce to thank for this beautiful weather. So thank you for arranging that. So what are we celebrating here today? How many of you are Intergraph employees? Well, it's really for you guys. So you know what you've been suffering. And if we talk a bit about Intergraph, I mean, I'm European, I'm used to Windows. And The first time we came here and we saw those cubicles without any windows and was dark. It was terrible. So we said, we need to fix this. And that was a promise. And one of the core values we have at Hexagon, which our employees sometimes have difficulties conveying to our customers, is sustainable profit is everything. But now I'm going to explain to you how it works in the real world. If Hexagon and Intergraph is generating money, we can take that money and reinvest it to do beautiful things like this. And actually the deal is 30% goes to the shareholders, 70% goes to further develop and strengthen the company. And I think that's the problem we have in the modern world today, that too many companies are just used, and you suck out the sort of living daylight out of the organizations in order to pay dividends and so on. And I, by no means I want to sound like a communist, but but it's important to build strong organizations for the future. As a matter of fact, you know more than anyone, since you have a presidential election coming up. This is all about the economy. It's about how do we turn this bloody thing around so that we create jobs once again, that we grow the economy, and that we grow, well, basically the welfare for all of us as individuals. Well, you need to create strong companies with good product offerings that you can export throughout the world. And it starts with a simple thing as a building. If you look behind me, you can't see it because of the ceiling, but if you could see it, you could see we're scattered in various buildings across the campus, so we don't have proper communication and we don't create good ideas. But in that building, the new building, we're going to be able to create great things that we can export and generate more jobs for the future for Huntsville and Madison County. So I think that's the starting point, and I would really like to thank you, officials of Huntsville and Madison County, to coming here today and show your support for this very bold investment. But I think it's going to pay off for us and for you as a society. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Rowland. On behalf of the Chamber and our business community, let me first thank you for investing into our community and our state. Congratulations on Intergraph's success, and we at the Chamber pledge that we'll do everything in our power to ensure Intergraph has every opportunity to continue on its path of innovation and success. We are honored that you're here today. We are honored that Hexagon and Intergraph has selected our community for growth. And now I'd like to call on one of our community's greatest assets, whose hard work over the last 4 years has helped grow and transform our entire community. Please help me welcome our next speaker, the Honorable Paul Finley, Mayor of the City of Madison. Paul?
I wasn't ready to go next. I was looking at which one of these guys was coming. So, well, first, congratulations, and thank you so much for the investment that you are, or the reinvestment that you're making in our community. This is a fabulous day for not only Madison County, Huntsville, but our entire area. I see Ed Porter in the back. I know John Owens is here. Those guys have worked diligently over the course of the last couple of years with everyone here to make this happen. So first and foremost, gentlemen, congratulations for all your hard work. Isn't it great to be at this time? And I know it's a big sigh of relief for you, Ed. I want to thank Amy Bell and her team. I want to thank our Industrial Development Board because they have worked together, and this is truly a partnership. You know, Intergraph, I think, started in 1969, but it is Madison's largest employer. And I think it's so fitting because over the course of the last few months, as we've talked, they've talked about the vision that you guys have had, not just about Windows, that was a part of it, but about the synergistic piece that needed to occur with the building that in turn could bring this entire campus together to re-energize a company that has been so strong for so long. And here in Cummings Research Park yesterday, we celebrated 50 years, and what did we talk about? We talked about a park that creates synergy, that gives people competition, that brings people together, that in turn makes this overall area so much better. You know, this will now be the gateway into the Huntsville area. from the west. So we are so thrilled, and I know on behalf, and this gets longer and longer, on behalf of the mayor-elect, on behalf of our city council and our city council-elect, we are so proud of our team, and we're not done. You know, one thing we talked about is how do you continue to make sure we support? Well, the neat thing about what's going to happen with this campus is when this building is built, there's a lot of redevelopment that's going to occur, and the city's going to be in a position to support that. And it's a base that will continue to grow. So from this and consolidation, you're then going to see retail and additional complexes come up here that will only help our city. So it is, you know, people keep asking me, well, you don't have much longer, do you? And when's the countdown and how many days? I can tell you, I've been counting down to this day for a long time. So on behalf of everyone in the city of Madison, again, thank you so much. We are thrilled Intergraph is going to rise again. Take care.
Thank you, Mayor Finley. And before I introduce Chairman Gillespie, let me just, all this talk of synergy and partnership, I can't think of two fellows who demonstrate synergy and partnership better than two gentlemen sitting here on the stage. And so thank you, Paul, for what you've done for Madison. And I'd now like to introduce County Commission Chair Mike Gillespie, one of our key economic development drivers in our community. Mike, would you please share a few words with us?
Thank you, Ron. Thank you very much. On behalf of the Madison County Commission and Chair-elect Dale Strong, who is here as well, Ula, I want to congratulate you on making the right decision. And you have. There is no question in my mind that this is indeed the right decision because of a lot of factors. You may not be aware of this, but I've been in office since 1981, and we've worked a lot of projects. I have never seen a team work harder on a project than this one, and thank you for your confidence in Ed and his team. I hope you write a journal, Ed, someday to share about this adventure coming to this point. Events like this don't just happen. You don't just all of a sudden pick up the phone one day and Ula calls and says, Ed, how about finding out about building a new building? This team had to sell this project to Ula and his team, and thank goodness they did. They've got a lot to offer, this team for Intergraph here. Intergraph many, many years ago helped transform our community into technology. One of the leading technology companies, one of the pioneers in technology, and some of those people are still here. I asked if there wasn't mandatory retirement. Lauren's got to be 80 years old. Actually, he's not. He's only a couple of years older than I am. We've known each other long enough to be able to say that. But he's part of this team and part of this process. And what's happening now is that this area is being transformed again in all the right ways because of your confidence in what's going on here. And we as a community are going to make sure that your confidence is placed in the right place. We're going to do everything we can beyond this day. This is just the first day of many. This groundbreaking certainly doesn't end this community's involvement with your company. We believe profit is a good word, and we believe that we as a community can only be successful as you as a company are successful. So we're going to do everything in our power to be a good team member, to make sure that we do the things that are necessary to help you grow. There's a lot of land here, as Ula asked about earlier. And Ed, I think it's incumbent on you and this team to make sure we fill it up. And we're going to help you do that. I did ask Ed if one thing would be appropriate. We have a tradition in this community that when we have events like this, that we generally, if there's water available, throw someone in. And I asked if Ed said that might be a one-time event. We might not ever, so that you're off the hook. That's not going to happen. But I do hope Tommy Battle gets here. Mayor Battle and Mayor Finley, as I said, I've worked a lot of projects over these last 32 years. I've never seen more cooperation than on this project. We would not be sitting here today had it not been for Mayor Battle and Mayor Finley and all of us working together. And Greg Bob Smith took the lead from the state. So thank you and the Commerce Department. This is truly a team effort in getting to this point, and I can't wait to see the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Mike. As we've talked about, today isn't just about growing for the future. It's about keeping great jobs in our community. And Intergraph, and it's important that we understand this, Intergraph and Hexagon are global companies. They could have located anywhere in the world. Yet they not only chose to stay here in North Alabama and in Madison, but to grow here. And what you've heard today is also thanks to a number of our strong economic development partners, beginning with the state of Alabama, the Department of Commerce, the Tennessee Valley Authority, the City of Madison, Madison County, the City of Huntsville, and the Madison Industrial Development Board, among others. Our role at the Chamber is to support and facilitate economic development activities throughout our MSA, which includes the cities of Madison and Huntsville, as well as Limestone counties. We would not be here today without the involvement of each of these organizations and many others, but most importantly, the leadership at Hexagon and Intergraph, who chose, again, to invest in this great community. And at this time, I want to introduce one of our key economic development partners, one of our best supporters from the Alabama Department of Commerce. He's getting familiar up here. Secretary Canfield, we see you quite a bit, and we love it when you come to Huntsville. Secretary Greg Canfield.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ron. I told Ron earlier today that I have seen him a good bit more than I think I've seen my wife. They both work for regions, and my wife is beginning to wonder what I'm doing spending so much time in Huntsville, Alabama, and Madison, Alabama, in this beautiful county. Let me just say, Ula, that you mentioned sustainable profitability, and I think that the signature of Hexagon and its family of companies, including Intergraph, and that whole principle of sustainable profitability, the fact that your shareholders are willing to retain 30% of the revenues, but plow back 70% of the revenue stream to grow this fine company, speaks to what we would think of as a marriage, that perfect blend of partnership and give and take that it takes to develop close relationships and move forward. And what you've seen here and experienced in Madison County is a marriage. It is a marriage of the local community, its elected officials, its economic development team, the state, our governor, Governor Robert Bentley, all coming together in a marriage that focuses on creating an environment that we partner with you and we look to the future. And I think that the fact that Intergraph has been here since 1969 and has continued to experience great success, even though there have been some turbulent times during that history for the company, that with the advent of Hexagon coming into the picture and taking over leadership and ownership of this fine company, that strong partnership that exists between the state of Alabama and the local community and Intergraph and Hexagon really speaks to a promising future. I think it's nothing that we should overlook. And it's very important to understand that as we look out today and we look at the beautiful renderings of the investment in this beautiful headquarters that will exist here on this property, we understand also that Intergraph has been here for almost 45 years. Cummings Research Park just celebrated its 50th anniversary. We look forward to coming back for the 50th anniversary here of Intergraph and Hexagon. So thank you, and here's to a great future.
Thank you. In a brief conversation with Chairman Gillespie a second ago, Mike has a couple of comments he wants to share about the team that made this happen. Mike?
I asked him if I could say something else. Now I thought, why should I ask? What are they going to do, fire me? I should have just come back up here. I did want to say one other thing about this team, and the Chamber of Commerce's role in this cannot be overstated. John, was this where'd John go? John Sutherland. Was this your first major project? So you're 100% now, so we expect that to continue. John came in and we'd had some changes, and Rick Davis was doing this before, but when John came in, he absolutely shepherded this project from start to finish. And without the Chamber's involvement, I don't think we would be here today. I think we would be still probably talking, Ed. And Greg, the governor, was up here at least one, if not two of our meetings. I can't remember if he was here for both of those, but I know Governor Bentley was here, and I just wanted to reaffirm how important it is for this team to stay together. The Chamber of Commerce leads all the economic development in the community and has for many, many years. And John, to you and Chip and the team, the entire team from the Chamber, thank you for all you did to make this happen.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. All right. Well, in closing, Mr. Rowland, Secretary Canfield, Chairman Gillespie, and Mayor Finley, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for being here with us today. And finally, to the Intergraph team, thank you for what you do. You're a world-class organization, and we are so proud that as visitors to our city, and they come off the airport, they land here, and they come into Huntsville on 565, they'll see this nice, gleaming corporate headquarters building here right off the highway. It's so exciting, and we're so proud, and we thank you for your work and everything that you do to make our community a great place to be. All right, as you probably have noticed, we have hard hats and golden shovels, and I would like to ask us to come over to the right here, and I think we'll ask some of those shovels to be put to use. It's time to break some ground.